Hi, my name is Wes Hewitt, and I'm going to give you a demonstration today on how to create a context diagram using um, Cameo enterprise architecture. And so here's your standard context diagram that we talked about in class, and with the toy in the center, and then the outside things within context of the toy. You could call this also the toy domain, all the things that are associated with the toy. So what we're going to do is, in this demonstration, we're going to start Cameo, and we're going to create a new SysML model. And then next we're going to create a context diagram. And I'm going to do this by using blocks and a block diagram, and then also show you how to make it, which is a hierarchical view, and then I'll show you how to create a internal block diagram. So let me show this really quick. So here's my interpretation of what the context diagram looks like as a block diagram, or block diagram here in context. And you notice it's a hierarchy view. It's not quite the same as the diagram in the class, because it's showing the toy over here with the child, the projectile, and the toy storage, and the parent as blocks. Now these also could be represented as actors, but just to be similar, I'm going to create blocks for those also. But so this is the hierarchical view, and the best view to make it look like what's in class is once you create that domain view, the hierarchical view. Now you can show the interfaces in the toy domain with the toy in the center, and then all these other things outside the toy with their relationships. So I'll demonstrate that to you guys. So when you bring up, in fact, we can restart over again here. We'll create I'll close this one, and we'll create a new diagram. Close that one till we get the regular screen here. Okay. So here's the normal screen you start off with here. And so we're going to create a new project here. And I'm going to go down here to select the type of diagram we're going to do. Is a SysML project here under System Engineering. And I'm going to give it a name. We'll just call this toy model. Okay, and then here's the location it's going to be stored in. I've got a file here for our class. So I'm going to click OK. And it usually takes about 10 seconds or so for it to load here, as it's bringing in all the files here. And so it's going to create this, show you here these three different views of your model. One's a containment view, one's a diagram view, and one's a structural view. Okay, so I created the model, which is for the toy. So it gives you this diagram. So I'm going to change this name here to model toy. Okay, and then we're going to create the blocks to what the other one said. So I'm going to open up this file. So I'm just going to kind of copy this offline here. So we'll come up and we'll do a right click, and I'm just going to create a new diagram here. And we're going to create a block definition diagram. Blocks are the building block of SysML, really. There's structure and there's behavior. So this is kind of the structural view. And this context diagram is really made up of structures, okay? So that's why we're going to use blocks. So obviously, one of the first blocks we can put in here is the toy, okay? And another block we can create here is, I'm going to create a toy domain block just for the fact that all these blocks are contained within this domain. Okay, and then I can, it's pretty easy here in Cameo. We'll just move that up here. Come down here to the, we can size this up, hit this little button here, and that'll bring the frame back up to a reasonable size. Also, you can use this down here to zoom in a little bit better. Okay, so here's my toy domain. This is a hierarchical view of that context diagram. Okay, now, and I'm going to now click on the domain, and when I click on here, this is the directed composition. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on this. So this means is that this domain contains the toy itself. But there's other things that are in this domain, which I showed before. So I'm going to click on here again, and I'm going to hit this button, and it'll automatically create another block. And we call that the parent. And I'll do that again. And that'll be the child. And oops. Oh, there it is. And toy storage. And lastly, projectile. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. We can always come up here and select, let's see here. There we go. If you just select nothing and hit this button here, it'll actually automatically lay it out. Pretty nice. And you notice each one, when you created these, this relationship here of this this linkage here, that it gave it a name. These are actually like these are the like classes of things like the child class, and then these are actually parts. When you create this, it actually gives it a name. You notice it's lowercase versus uppercase here, so it automatically drops that, except for the storage here, obviously. Okay, so there's a picture of the domain. Now, another thing you could take a look at, you could consider, is the kids, the people in here could have been added as actors. So you could, if you wanted to use the actors, you come down here to use case diagram, and here's an actor. So you could have said parent, and you could have done child. Okay. And then from here, you could have just done a, I guess, let's see, we would probably go this way. That, well, that should have been parent. So I'll hit, oops, I'll hit an undo. I guess I'll put that under parent and put the child over here. Okay, so again, this is just showing you that this child block here is representing also an actor. Okay, and let's see, oh, it does give you an arrow. And you notice that arrow is normally the wrong way. So you actually can hold, I think it's the Alt key, and it'll reverse that. Let's just do an undo here. I guess the easiest thing is just to hit the Alt key here and come and do it this way. You want the arrow going down, and the same for this one. But you can change the direction too before you put it down. Okay, so that's kind of showing you the hierarchy relationship, okay, of your domain. So you have all the elements. Now the only thing you don't have is the relationship here between these blocks in your domain, in your context diagram. So what from here, from this domain block, and this is why I create it, I'm going to create an internal block diagram. Okay, and that's if you just click on it, it says SysML internal block diagram. So it actually links that, creates the IBD, and it's linked to that domain block. Okay, meaning that this is like looking inside your domain. Okay, and you can select which things you want here. So I'm going to deselect the child and parent. Let's see, child parent. Let's see what that does here. Okay, so here, put all the blocks on for me, all within this toy domain. And I'm going to change this name here from toy domain to context. Okay, so so if I come down in here under toy domain, you see toy domain here. We'll just call this toy context, and that changed up here for this picture here. And again, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And so we'll reorganize these, and just like the other one, I'm going to put the toy here, I'm going to put the parent over here, I'm going to put the child here. Okay, toy storage is going to be up here, and projectile. So just like in the diagram. You notice there's two names here. You can actually delete these names if you want. This is actually like the class name. This is the part name, or this is the block name, and then you can have more than one instances of that toy storage. So you can give that a unique name, and it puts it in lowercase. So that's the part name. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to connect these using connectors. And I'm going to go from parent, and you can go direct here. And then you can give this a name by clicking on the line, going to properties, and so let's say that's stores. So it shows up here, and then I'm going to move this name over here just like it is in our diagram. So parent stores the toy. Okay. Then I'm going to create another. Let's see here. I can do it this way using the context here. Connector, and I'm going to connect that up. Okay, and then over here in the properties under name here, I'm going to give this a name, and this is stored in. Okay, so there's that, and this would be closer to the. So let's say if I want to move, I can always move this around a little bit. Okay, just like in the slide. Okay, and let's see here. We can add another one here. We'll click on this. Go to connector, and we'll connect to child. And this is toy attracts. Okay, that's better. So toy attracts. And then lastly, down here to projectile. And we can separate this out, move it down a little bit. And we'll give that that line its name, throws. Okay. And let's see, what else can you do here? So we can grab that name here and get it. You also can change the size of these things. And then see if I can make them all the same size. Going up here, this block here is align and make the same size. Okay, so looks a little, they look more even. Okay, so now the process of making it look pretty is something that maybe takes a little more time. You can use some of these little tools, like this is a stamp if you want to do a bunch of the same kind. This here is a pusher. Right click here, and I can move them down here. It pushes the ones below the line. And this is the separator. I guess that works the other direction. Okay, so you can play around with those. And so that's, oh, now, there's also a box that goes around here. Um, let's see here. So normally what we've done is there's usually let's see here. Okay, the last thing that we're missing here is the system boundary. And I had to look around for this because they moved it around here. So we're down here at the bottom where there's a pull down menu for horizontal. You may see horizontal separator, there's a vertical, and there's a rectangle shape. And that's about the best we can do to simulate the system boundary, because that's all it is just a dashed line. So those are really all the elements if you want to duplicate the toy context diagram, really by creating two diagrams, coming back here to create this. Now you don't actually have to create this. You can independently just create this diagram, but I recommend kind of doing it this way because it creates the blocks first. So okay, there's some good videos you may want to check out, um, and I'll be posting some links for those. One is on Magic Draw Basics, and it'll cover some important first features that you may want to use. Okay, there you go. Have a good day.